Hey guys, in this video I'll be explaining the solution to longest substring without repeating characters in Leetcode. So in this video I'll go over the problem, explain the solution, implement the solution, and then analyze the runtime. And in the past couple of videos the text was a little small, so today I'm zooming in so it's really easy for you guys to read the problem and stuff. So basically this problem is pretty straightforward. You have to find the length of the longest substring in the given string with that all of its characters are unique. So in this case, ABC is unique, but as soon as you have ABCA, there's two A's, it doesn't count because A is a duplicate. And here's some of the other examples, but the question is fairly straightforward. So to get started on explaining the solution, the first important observation to make is that let's say we are running along through the string here. There's like an A, there's like a B, a C, a D, all unique, and then we run into another B. So we know that this is a unique string that works, but this isn't. But as soon as we run into another B, we know that starting from A or B, starting from B won't be any better than starting from A, because if we start from A and we manage to go all the way here and we see a B, starting from B won't give us any better result. In fact, we'll actually get a shorter string. And this works if we had some previous letters here. Let's just say we started from X here. We go all the way through and we finally hit a B. We don't need to try starting from Z, because a naive solution is just a brute force approach. You start from every index and you see how many letters you can walk forward before seeing a duplicate. But you don't actually have to do that, because you can save a lot of time by skipping these letters. Because if you start from X and you know you made it all the way to B, there's no point starting from Z, because or A, because you'll know that you'll still run into this B. So what you can do is you can find the first appearance of B that you currently have, and then just skip all the way from X to C, and then keep on trying whatever is next. So that's basically the solution, and now the important part is just to figure out how to implement this. So what we can do is we can have a variable that keeps track of where we're starting. So let's just say this is where we're starting, and we just need a map to keep track of everything we've seen and its index. So when we run into a duplicate, we can instantly know that it's a duplicate because it's in our map, and we can instantly update our start point to a new start point after the duplicate, and then keep on checking. And then when we run into another duplicate, we update our pointer to the one guy before that duplicate. And at all times, we know that the size of the map is um, how long our substring is. And when we move our start point up, we'll just remove all these guys from our map. All right, that was the explanation of the solution behind the problem, and now let's implement our solution that we just discussed. So first, let's just make a character array, because those are easier to work with. And now what we want to do is we need to make our map to keep track of what characters we have seen. All right, so this map will store a character and the index where we have seen it. So now what we can do is we can have initialize our start variable. So this is where we are starting. And now what we can do is we can go through our array. And now our normal case is that we will just put our character in the array and the index where it is found. And now we should also have a longest. And now, because the size of our map represents the length of our current substring, what we can do is we can check if our current substring is longer than longest. Now we set longest to that size. And this should be what we need to do for our regular case. Now, what we need to do is we need to take care of the case where we see a duplicate character. So if m.contains key, our current one is a duplicate, then what we want to do is we want to start from our previous starting index, and then we want to go to where our duplicate is, and we just want to remove all those characters from our map, because if you remember, if we detect a duplicate B, what we want to do is want to move all the way to C and delete all these guys. So that's exactly what we'll do. We will map.remove C and the index at J. And then after we do that, what we need to do is we need to update our starting point, because instead of starting from here, we want to start from here. So we should probably store this in a variable, int index of duplicate. So that's our index of our duplicate, and we want to go to that index, and we'll remove all the elements from our start to there, and then we'll update our start to index of dup +1. And so now, in the case that we run into a duplicate, what we'll do is we'll clear out everything until the duplicate, update our start value to be this, and then add our current thing in, because if we see a B, we'll just add that in, and then now our map will look like this, C, D, B, because we'll clear out everything from here and then add this afterward. So that's what this adding here does. And now I believe all we need to do is we need to return the longest one we found. So assuming that this doesn't have any bugs, this solution should work. And voila. So I'll zoom out a little bit here because we don't need to see the code super clearly, so we can see the runtimes. So as you can see, this was my first submission where I used the naive brute force approach, where you start at every index and find how many steps you can step forward at that index before running into a duplicate character. And that, of course, is a O of n squared type of solution, because you're going to find the longest substring at every index. And as you can see, our current solution here, which skips until the right spot, this runs much faster in 6 milliseconds, because the runtime of this algorithm is O of n, because at most we'll have to loop through the entire array and then basically loop through the entire array again to delete the elements from our map. So we'll never loop more than 2 times n of worth of like length. So yeah, this is a pretty fast solution to this longest substring without repeating characters problem. And yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll come back with another video tomorrow.